First, I would like to bring you all my warmest greetings. It is an honor to address such a diverse, interesting, and savvy members. Like the French say, commençons par le commencement. I am Salmane Belayachi, representing the Moroccan World Foundation. So let me share with you who we are and what we hope to become. MWF is a vibrant movement by self-mandated men and women who believe in social responsibility and proactive approach. We are fervent citizens from all walks of life, all over the world, who call Morocco home. We have come together to be partners in a venture of self-empowerment in the hope to remind us that social responsibility, contribution, and leadership are more than words. They are perspectives. We believe in God, in His will, and His judgment. We also believe that in life we make choices, and those choices make us. Therefore, we choose not to mistake motion for action. We consider a barking dog more useful than a sleeping lion. We trust that the vision must be followed by the venture. It is not enough to stare up the steps. We must step up the stairs, so that after all is said and done, a lot more will have been done than said. On that spirit, MWF was behind the inception of a few projects, starting with Opération Sourire d'Espoir, through which came the purchase of new clothing during the Al-Eid celebrations for deprived orphans and hospitalized kids suffering from serious illness. MWF also organized the Summer Leadership Residential Program, which took place at Al-Akhawan University's campus. It was marked with two conferences. The first was the Interfaith Dialogue Conference, which highlighted the importance of such a dialogue in enabling a healthy climate of human development and focusing on what brings us closer as people and different members of one society. The second conference marked the beginning of a milestone many of us were eager to partake in: youth leadership in society. This conference was a fabulous opportunity to learn from our guest speakers and student leaders from around the world through terrific debates that youth leadership is a tremendous contributing factor to the human development momentum. While authors wrote bestsellers about it, some have made a fortune from it, ordinary people became world figures thanks to it. Some lost big for lack of it. Others scored big because they had it. This conference stressed boldly that leadership is not a science, it is not a course, it is not a position, it is an action. It isn't industry specific, it's not exclusive to the few. And for the contribution in our development, it is certainly not optional. It is mandatory. This conference was followed with our first annual gathering, a 3-day getaway event in the beautiful Marrakesh, so we could network, debate, build friendships. It was our way to bridge what is useful to what is fun. Speaking of useful, MWF, in collaboration with Association Sourire d'Espoir, launched Opération Cartable 2007, aimed at donating book bags and school supplies to underprivileged kids in different areas in the country. Thanks to this operation, hundreds of kids didn't have to choose between food and school supplies. They didn't need a plastic bag anymore. They didn't have to share crayons to draw a smiling face. When we talk about human development, our perspective is quite simple. It would be foolish not to make the youth the core of that initiative. Ultimately, they represent the section of society to whom development will have the most long-term effect. I believe that location is to real estate what empowerment is to development. In the hope of increasing youth participation in human development process, we need to first refer to young people not only as targets, but more importantly, as partners in development. In the way leading up to these initiatives, there is no easy street. There are no magical formulas, no shortcuts. However, involving the youth, providing them with the necessary support system, with an environment that values their contribution, encourages them to take the lead. Only then will you get their attention, and only then will they care to listen. And once they do, they will trigger a human development domino effect. And only then will Morocco have an autopilot switch. Our outlook on human development was ultimately the reason why we invented ourselves. We're not trying to be all things to all people. We're not here to promise the moon either. But we're not here to fade in the smoke of criticism and censure. We are about giving a chance, a tiny glimpse of hope, a reason to smile to those who didn't receive one. The rest is what they make of it. So if you ask me why we do it, I will tell you, we do it because we believe that personal success of any kind, without the contribution to the success of others, remains the kind that is also without any significance. Success is not copyrighted. We believe it to be duplicable. We do it because we trust in working with, not against, the political process, the development process. Because we feel our homeland is at the juncture of interesting times. And therefore, not all change is growth. Not all movement is forward. Because we believe it to be a right, not a privilege, to get an opportunity. Because the difference between a try and triumph is a little oomph. Because we believe in generosity, in hard work, in education, in the other opinion, in economic partnerships, in our constitutional monarchy, in nationalism. We believe in choice, in humor, in justice, in peace, in good intentions, in asking, what can we do to help? In leadership, we decisively believe in Morocco. We do this as people with purpose. We do it for their families, for your friends, for this country, for our future. We cannot always build this future for our youth, but what we can build is this youth for our future. Let us not only hope, but put forth the effort to make it for Morocco the kind of future that is so bright when you turn yourself to its sun, the shadows will fall behind you. By the power of our norms and righteous purpose, we promise to uphold the values of what is dignified, honorable, noble, and serves the common interest of our society and its people. We hold it as sacred, the supreme moral of our foundation, and we declare it so publicly.